Welcome back to the Red Legacy. In the vast emptiness of space, where silence reigns eternal, a faint red glow has captivated the human eye for thousands of years. Ancient civilizations gazed upon it, weaving myths and stories around its strange, fiery hue. But behind the legend lies a far deeper truth, the story of a world forged from chaos, sculpted by fire, and preserved in ice. This is the story of how Mars was born. 4.5 billion years ago, our solar system was a turbulent sea of dust, rock, and gas, swirling around a young, blazing sun. Within this cosmic storm, gravity became the great sculptor. Every grain of dust that collided stuck to another, growing into clumps, then boulders, then planetary embryos. Amid this chaos, one small world began to take shape, destined to become the fourth planet from the Sun. The young Mars was not red yet. It was a world of molten oceans and colliding asteroids, where each impact reshaped the surface. Volcanoes erupted endlessly, mountains rose and fell, and the air shimmered with heat and ash. The crust was fragile, and the atmosphere thick with carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and traces of water vapor. It was a violent beginning, but it was also the beginning of order. As the newborn planet cooled, a crust solidified around its molten heart. The first raindrops fell, not gentle or calm, but acidic torrents pounding against hot stone. Over time, this water pooled into basins and valleys, forming vast oceans that glittered under the dim orange light of the early sun. The planet that we now know as dry and desolate once shimmered with waves. These early Martian seas, perhaps shallow but widespread, were the cradle of possibility. If life ever began on Mars, it may have been during this brief, miraculous period. In the warmth of its ancient waters, chemical reactions could have sparked the earliest forms of life, microscopic, fragile, and hidden within sediments and hydrothermal vents. But Mars was a smaller planet than Earth, and that difference sealed its fate. With less mass came a weaker gravitational grip, and a weaker core meant a fading magnetic field. Over millions of years, the planet's magnetic shield collapsed, leaving it exposed to the solar wind, a stream of charged particles from the sun that stripped away the atmosphere like sand blown from glass. The once blue Mars began to lose its air, its water, and its warmth. Oceans froze and retreated beneath the surface. The protective sky thinned, and ultraviolet radiation scorched what remained. Volcanoes that had once reshaped the world fell silent, leaving behind the tallest mountain in the solar system, Olympus Mons, a frozen monument to a world that once breathed fire. The transformation from blue to red was not sudden, it was the slow work of time. Iron in the planet's surface oxidized, turning to rust, painting the land in shades of crimson and ochre. The winds that now sweep across the deserts of Mars are ancient, carrying dust that has witnessed eons. Every storm that rages there today is a whisper from that distant age when the planet began to die. And yet, even in death, Mars remains alive in memory, alive in what it reveals to those who seek to understand it. Through the eyes of robotic explorers, we have uncovered dry riverbeds, mineral veins, and the ghostly outlines of ancient deltas. Each discovery is a message from the past, proof that Mars was once a living world. The planet's surface holds records of volcanic eruptions, meteor strikes, and climatic shifts that span billions of years. Beneath its crust lies frozen water, trapped like forgotten treasure. Scientists believe that in some places, liquid water might still flow deep underground, shielded from radiation, preserving the last echoes of a once vibrant environment. Mars tells a story of transformation, not just its own, but one that mirrors the fragile balance of planetary life. Where there was warmth, there is now cold. Where there was air, there is now emptiness. But even in its silence, Mars offers us lessons. It reminds us that worlds, like living beings, can change, decay, and endure. The red planet is more than a celestial neighbor. It is a witness to cosmic time, a world that has seen the birth of the solar system, the rise of life on Earth, and now the arrival of human curiosity. Each rover that touches its soil is more than a machine. It is a messenger sent across the void, asking the oldest questions of all. Where did we come from? Are we alone? When we explore Mars, we explore our own origins. We trace the path of elements that once moved from star to stone, from stone to life. The carbon in our breath, the iron in our blood, they all share the same ancestry as the dust of Mars. We are, in a very real sense, the children of cosmic debris, born from the same stellar nursery that formed the red world we now study. And so, humanity's fascination with Mars continues, not as an obsession with the alien, but as a reflection of ourselves. The more we learn about the planet's violent birth and gradual decline, the more we see the fragility of our own world. Mars stands as both a warning and an inspiration, a frozen monument to the forces that create and destroy worlds. Today's spacecraft orbit its skies, mapping every canyon and dune. Rovers crawl across its surface, drilling into rocks that have not seen sunlight for billions of years. Every sample, every photograph, every signal sent back across the gulf of space brings us closer to understanding what Mars was and what it might still be. Perhaps one day, human footprints will press into the red dust. Perhaps cities will rise beneath glass domes, and the sound of voices will echo where once only wind roared. The same curiosity that built the first tools and lit the first fires now drives us to cross planets. The birth of Mars gave rise to a legacy, one that we are only beginning to understand. In its ancient rocks lies a map of time itself. From fire to ice, from chaos to calm, Mars has endured it all. And through it, we find the story of creation, not distant, but connected to us, written in the shared dust of the cosmos. The red legacy has begun, and its first chapter is the birth of a world that refuses to be forgotten. Thank you for watching till the end. You are watching The Red Legacy.